All right, so if you want to have a little bit of height underneath your bottom, you can put a block underneath that or fold up your blanket. And what that's going to do is allow those knees to kind of draw a little bit lower than the hips. My one knee isn't as flexible here, so it's going to be sticking up. But typically most people will be able to draw their knees a little bit lower, and that'll be more comfortable in the low back. Then as you inhale, I'd like you to really lift up. Nice long spine. Draw those shoulders back and down, and then slightly tuck in that chin. So you have a nice long neck, and you're pulling that crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And you can put your hands in a comfortable position. They can be in your lap, or they can be palms up on your legs, wherever they feel comfortable. And you can close your eyes when you're ready. As you close your eyes, go ahead and start by taking a deep cleansing breath. And just start to bring that awareness to your breath. And when we're ready, we're going to go ahead and count our breaths, starting at 10 down to 1. So your first inhale, exhale will be 10. And focusing on the next one, 9. Keep going at your own pace. Once you get down to 10, just go ahead and let your breath be natural. When you're ready, you're going to bring your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. It's prayer position with the hands. Open your eyes when you're ready. And then as you inhale, you're going to press into those hands as you press up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open the arms out. And just the opposite. Inhale, I'm going to draw in. And exhale, bringing those hands back to your heart. Let's do that again, practicing our Ujjayi breathing. Inhale. You exhale, that whispering sound, the back of the throat. And inhale, reaching out, drawing each end of the room. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll do that one more time. Inhale up, centering ourselves for a practice. Exhale, open. And inhale back up. And exhale back to center. Okay, let's bring that right arm up nice and high. Left arm's going to reach open to the side. You're going to lift up as high as you can out of those hips. Do a nice lateral flexion or stretch to the side. Feel that opening through your rib cage, maybe even down at the hip, the lower back. And then coming back to center, and we'll reach up with the opposite arm. That left arm reaches up nice and high. Lift yourself up out of your hips. And exhale over to the side. And maybe noticing maybe one side feels a little tighter than the other. And then on exhalation, go ahead and draw both hands behind your head. I'm going to pull those elbows back, really opening through that heart center. And then as you exhale, go ahead and draw those elbows in as you bring your chin to your chest. And we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, drawing those elbows back, opening to the chest. Exhale, rounding out. Elbows try to touch together in front of the forehead. Chin comes down to your chest. And then one more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, rounding out. Okay, let's go ahead and bring your hands down. Now, if you have something underneath your pelvis, you can take that out. We're going to extend out our right leg, and the left leg is going to stay bent. And we'll start with another lateral stretch to the side. So you're going to reach with that right arm to the right foot, and then up and over, nice long position from the hip all the way up to the fingertips. And then inhale, lift up. You're going to take that right hand on the outside of that bent leg, do a gentle twist, looking back over that back shoulder. On this one, double check to make sure that you're straight up from those hips. So you're not kind of leaning into that twist. And then inhale, you're going to face that straight leg. You're going to line up those hips and your body. This is Janu Sirsasana, or nose to knee. So you're going to inhale, reaching toward that foot as you draw down. Now, if you have a strap or a towel, you could wrap it around the arch of your foot, bringing that nose towards your knee. And your next inhalation, go ahead and come on up, and we'll switch sides. So we're going to extend out that left leg, and the right leg is going to come in bent. And we'll start by bringing that right arm up nice and tall. Do a nice side stretch. A little bit deeper than the one before. Really reaching, opening up through that rib cage, that energy all the way through those fingertips. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift up nice and tall. And you're going to put that left hand on the outside of that knee, gentle twist, looking back over your back shoulder. And then inhales, turn our body so that we're facing our straight leg. We'll start up nice and tall, nice straight alignment with that spine and our posture. Inhale. And as we exhale, Janu Sirsasana, or nose to knee, go ahead and draw down as much as it feels comfortable. When you're ready, inhale, go ahead and lift up. We're going to swivel around onto our hands and knees. Whatever direction feels comfortable for you. Align those knees right under those hips and your hands right below those shoulders. And like you just kind of walk, kind of like pushing your right and left hand into your blanket. Or your mat. And then go ahead and center yourself out. And we'll do a little tail wag. So pull that hip up to your rib cage, looking over that shoulder, moving side to side, more lateral flexion, warming up that spine. And then bringing that spine to a nice neutral position. Inhale. Exhale, pressing through those hands, rounding out your upper back, pulling that belly button in. That tailbone might tuck slightly, chin towards your chest, into your cat. And then inhale, lengthening that spine. Think of getting some space between the vertebra. Draw the shoulder blades down and look straight along the horizon. And then exhale, rounding out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, lengthen. And the next time we exhale and round out, I'd like you to draw those hips back towards your heels. And then we're going to kind of dive through. You can draw those elbows down as you move up into your cow. Inhale here, then exhale, rounding out some movement, flowing all the way back toward those heels. And diving through into your cow. We'll do that a couple more times. Okay, next time you're up, go ahead and bring that spine to a neutral position. Take your right leg behind you, curl those toes under. You're going to push that heel back as you push your thigh up towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice stretch in your calf muscle or the back of your thigh. Okay, keeping that right leg back behind you, you're going to lift up your left arm. So I'm going to do like a little twist open to our left side. Then you're going to take that hand and you're going to thread it through that open space and come down onto your shoulder with that leg still out behind. Okay, inhale, coming back up. Go ahead and slide that leg in. We're going to do a little crouching plank here. Build up some heat, curling those toes under. And then as you press through those hands, lift those knees up just a couple inches off your mat. Pull that belly button in. Your gaze is straight down between those fingertips. Just breathe, give yourself a couple more breaths. And then go ahead and bring those knees down, uncurl the toes, and let's press back to child's pose before we move on. My daughter keeps calling me. Let her know about my schedule. Okay, and now let's go back to all fours position. We'll just extend out that opposite leg. So left leg, you're gonna curl that toe under, pull the heel back, push the thigh up towards the ceiling. If you don't feel that in your calf, just slide your leg forward maybe about 3 or 4 inches and try it again. See if you can feel that in your calf muscle. And then pushing that thigh up toward the ceiling, your hips are pretty square. Then let's lift our right arm up. A nice gentle twist here, keeping that energy through your back leg. And then we'll thread that arm through that open space and come on down. When you're ready for your next inhalation, let's come on up and draw that knee in, curling your toes under. Let's go back to another crouching plank. So pressing through those hands, belly button in, a couple inches off the ground with your knees. So just a little bit of a hover. Try to hollow out that chest a little bit and create some space in your shoulder joint. Your gaze is straight down between those fingertips. Give yourself a couple more breaths. Okay, let's release those knees, uncurl the toes, and draw back once again into your child's pose. Okay, inhale. Walk those hands forward from your all fours position, maybe about 6 to 8 inches. Curl your toes under. And then when you're ready, you're going to press back into your first downward facing dog. Once you're there, go ahead and walk your dog if you like to do that. So drawing one heel down as the other leg bends. And then you might try lifting both of the heels up. A nice stretch to the arch of your feet. Your ears are between your upper arms. Try to distribute the weight pretty evenly between your hands and your legs, so it's not all on your hands. And draw those heels back as close as they'll go toward your mat. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Inhale, moving to full plank or modified plank, your choice. Full plank or modified. And then we're going to lower ourselves down. So if you want to drop to your knees here, you're welcome to, especially the first time. Pausing a little bit in that low push-up position. And then connecting your belly and your hips and draw those arms up into Sphinx pose. So here, engage those glutes, legs are long, and try to open up a little bit more through your heart center. Shoulders are back and down, away from the ears. Your elbows are right below your shoulders. And then warming that back up for more extension. We're going to bring those hands below the shoulders. Hug those arms into your body as you inhale and lift up into a baby cobra. Remember, squeeze those glutes, push your pubic bone down, peel back down, inhale back up. Exhale down, making sure the shoulders are away from your ears and your shoulder blades are drawing down your back. Keep going. Each time you lift up, if you want to go a little bit further into your extension, that's fine. You're going to listen to your body and do what feels good for you. And now again. And last time. And then curling those toes under. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. This time, let's draw our feet out wider. So we're wide leg down dog. You want to try to lift one hand up and balance. You can bring that hand to your knee and just do a little tap there. Now, some people, if you draw a little bit closer, if you have enough flexibility, you can wrap that hand around the ankle. You might have to go in a little bit closer to get that to happen. And that's not necessary, it's just an option. You can keep it right there at the knee. We'll feel a little less intense. And then we'll put that hand down and try switching the opposite side if you want. You can hold the down dog. You don't have to lift the arm up, so it's just an option. I'm sliding it down around the ankle. Then bringing that hand down. Let's walk those feet back into a normal position for down dog. Inhale back to plank or modified plank. Exhale to chaturanga or low push-ups. You pause with those elbows right outside the rib cage. Inhale into cobra, or you could try your up dog if your back's warmed up. And that feels okay for you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, either stay here. If you'd like to do three-legged dog, you can lift that right leg up. Exhale, go ahead and step that foot up between the hands. Inhale, draw that back knee down and lift those arms up into cactus arms. And then exhale, go ahead and bring those hands down on each side. And inhale, we'll do a nice gentle twist as you open up with that right arm up, turning towards that bent leg in front. And then drawing that hand down, go ahead and curl that back toe under. Nice strong back leg. Let's come up to a high lunge. So that means your heel stays lifted in the back. Hips are forward like headlights. Your front knee is right above the ankle. And then we'll do that one more time with that back leg lifted. Bringing that left hand on the inside, gentle twist to your right. Okay, bringing that hand down, go ahead and step your back foot in. It's going to turn now at an angle about 11 o'clock. One hand on each side. If you have really tight hamstrings, now is a great time to have those blocks available on each side. I'm going to demonstrate here. So nose to knee pyramid. And then since the right foot is forward, you're going to bring if you have a block, you can bring it on the inside of that foot. If you don't have a block, you can just press your hand down on your foot or your ankle. We're going to open up into triangle. So on triangle, you want that palm to face the same direction that you're looking. The arms are in a nice straight line if you can get them. And the twist, I feel like a good cue is to think about that opening coming from your diaphragm up, since that hip is turned in on back. So we want to open up through the upper back and the thoracic spine versus lumbar spine, low back. Okay, bringing that hand down. Let's step your back foot to meet your front foot, and we'll do forward fold. From here, if you'd like to grab hold of your elbows and kind of hang, that's nice. You can do soft knees, where you bend those knees a little bit more. Shake your head yes and no. Make sure you're not holding it up. Okay, inhale, half lift. So we're going to do a nice flat neutral spine. Open through that chest. Exhale, fold. Stepping back into a nice strong plank. One more breath. And lowering down to chaturanga. Remember, drawing to your knees is always an option here. Pausing at that staff pose, inhale, and lift up into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're welcome to hold it here, or if you want to lift up your left leg, go ahead. Exhale, everyone's going to step your left foot between the hands. Lower your back knee down. Uncurl the toe. Inhale, lifting up, cactus arms. Exhale, drawing down. Right hand's going to go on the inside, gentle twist to your left. And then bringing that hand down, curl that back toe, nice strong back leg. So lift that back leg up. Energy through that heel. When you're ready, inhale, lifting up to a high lunge. The hips stay forward like headlights. That front knee's right above the ankle, so you might have to lower down a little bit. And then bringing that right hand back on the inside of the foot, gentle twist. Still having a nice strong back leg. So push that thigh up to the ceiling, energy through the heel. And then bringing that hand down, you're going to step your back foot up, turning it to about 1 o'clock. Nose to knee pyramid. Remember, your blocks are your options on each side, especially if tight hamstrings, the back of that thigh. Your front leg is pretty straight. However, if you are pretty tight in your hamstrings, you might have a slight bend. So that's fine. And then bringing that left hand on the inside. If you're going to put it on the ground, or you could put it up on your foot or your ankle, but not on your shins. You don't want to put pressure to hyperextend that knee. When you're ready, you're going to open up into triangle. Now, when I'm in triangle, I'm going to keep an eye on this back hip here. Make sure I'm not pushing out on it. A nice solid position here. I'm opening from the diaphragm up. That's where my twist is coming from. That arm straight up. palm the same direction that I'm looking at. I tend to keep my head in a neutral position, but some people like to look up toward their hand. As soon as I did that, I lost my balance. That's one thing that's been a lesson for me, a humbling lesson, is I used to be really solid with my balance until I injured my knee, and now I'm not used to it quite yet. So I go to move, and something that would normally be stable is all of a sudden all over the place. Okay, bringing that hand down. Let's step that back foot to meet the front foot. We'll go into forward fold. You can grab those elbows again if you want, soft knees. Just kind of hang there. You can add a little bit of movement. I wouldn't twist too much in this position. And then inhale, go ahead and bring those hands to your thighs. Let's lengthen out that back, open up through the heart center. Half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, let's do it one more time, half lift. This time, exhale, let's sit back into chair. I'm gonna hold that just for a couple minutes here. Or not a couple minutes, a couple breaths. Did I scare you? I scared myself. 2 breaths, not 2 minutes. And then coming up and out. All right, shake those legs out. I'm gonna let my dog out. And I'm gonna start doing some work going to the sides here. So if you want to alter your mat so that that works better for you, you're welcome to do that. So I'm just gonna give you a couple minutes to set that up if you want. You can have your block ready too if you want. Okay, let's start in mountain position. Palms are forward, chest is open, and thinking about that pada bandha, those 3 points of your feet, your heel, right under that padded part under your pinky toe, and then the ball of your foot on each side. And then lifting up that pelvic floor, belly button in, chin slightly pulled in. Inhale, lift up. Hands come together, exhale. We're going to do a twisted chair to our right. So we're going to come down into our chair. We're going to stack those hands, and we give you a couple options. You can put the back of the arm on that outside thigh. You stack your hands and stack your forearms so the elbow is pointing up, and you look to the side with a nice neutral position on your neck. When you do this, you want to make sure that each side is even, so you're not pushing your weight into one side. An option here is to not do such an extreme twist and keep that elbow on the other thigh. So either one works. But again, I want you to think about that twist happening from your diaphragm up versus in the lumbar region. Okay, inhale, pressing through those knees is coming up. And we're going to do a lateral stretch to our opposite side. We're going to go to our left now. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. We're going to lead with that heart center, so like a swan dive. Nice flat neutral back. Our hips pull back. We're going to come down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting into regular chair. Inhale, lift up. We're going to bring those feet open as we do that into 5-pointed star. Exhale into Utthita Konasana, which is goddess. I'd like us to try putting your index finger on your thumb and your fingers open. This is Chin Mudra. And then when we draw down nice and deep, we want our kneecaps same direction as our toes. Belly button's pulled in, chest is open, that tailbone's pointing back to your mat. And then we'll inhale, lifting back up to 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, lift. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, lift. And this time, exhale. So we're going to draw those toes forward, slightly in, so the outside edges of our feet are parallel with our mat if we had them horizontal. And then we'll do that swan dive. Nice, flat, neutral position. Go ahead and draw those hands either behind your ankles, or if you have a block, you can rest them there. Inhale, planting your left hand right on the middle section. And just double check that you have your weight pretty even on your feet and you don't have too much weight in the back heel. We're going to gently twist open to our right side, keeping even weight on your right and left leg, and also the amount that's on the ball of your foot versus your heel. And then we'll switch, bring the other hand down. Inhale to the opposite side. And then bringing down, and you're going to walk those hands to your right foot. Walking over, we're going to go into no swimming pyramid like we did in that warm-up. And then opening up into triangle. And then here's the more trickier part. We're going to really engage those abs. And we're going to lift up into reverse triangle. So just windmill those arms. This one's going to lift up nice and high. The other one's going to fall back. So open up through the rib cage. Let that arm drop back behind you. And then we're going to windmill those hands. We're going to go into side angle. So you can put that form on your thigh, reach up and over. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then windmill, come all the way down to that lunge position. Walking those hands back to the front. So we're going to go into that wide leg forward fold. Inhale, we're going to heel toe those feet in so they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to draw those hips down into Malasana, to garland pose. So the elbows are on the inside. Again, you can drop your bottom all the way down. It's like you're resting on the back of your legs. I just don't have that range of motion yet on my right knee. And then this is also the more challenging part with our core. We're going to engage our core muscles. And we're going to Go ahead and lift all the way up. As we start to do that, walk those feet in and open. Okay, here we are back in our mountain position. You can refresh those feet. We're going to do everything to the opposite side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale as you guide those hands down. We're going to do that twisted chair over to our left side. Remember, you can put the back of the upper arm on the thigh, stack your hands, elbow points to the ceiling, and you're going to look to the side, nice neutral position. I'm going to squeeze that top shoulder blade into my spine. On this one, opening up through your chest. And then inhale, lift up. Do a nice side bend over to our right. And now lift up. Exhale, swan dive. Go ahead and come on down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting down in a chair. And inhale, when you lift up, go ahead and walk those feet out. Arms come up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, Utkatasana Konasana, goddess pose. Draw all those hips down, belly button in. Nice strong pose. Inhale, come back up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, back down. And inhale, lift up. One more time. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, lift up. As you do that, go ahead and turn those toes. They're facing forward. Maybe tiny bit tucked in so the outside edge of the foot parallel with your mat. Lean with that heart center. Nice flat neutral back. Hips pull back. Come all the way down. Right leg forward fold. Okay, let's bring that right hand right on the inside. Gentle twist open. And on this one, you want your hips to be pretty even and the weight to be even in each leg. So you don't pop into that hip to get the twist to happen. It's more again from that diaphragm up. And then we'll switch hands, bring the other one down. Open to the opposite side. And then bring that hand down. Let's walk over with our hands to the other side. So we're walking to our left, coming down into that nice, actually, I need a nose to knee here. Almost went a little too far. Nose to knee, both toes. So my back foot is definitely more at 11, almost 12 o'clock. So it's just a slight angle here. So nice even hips facing forward. Then we'll plant that left hand on the inside or on your ankle, your foot, and open up into triangle. Okay, we're moving to reverse triangle. So as you inhale, really engage those abs. So you're gonna do a nice strong lift, reaching that left arm up nice and high, drawing that back arm to your back of your thigh. Just hold this for a couple breaths. And then we'll windmill those arms, and you put that forearm on your thigh, doing that side angle. You might need to widen up your stance here a little bit. And then reverse warrior, so you just windmill those arms back, keeping that front knee bent. And then we'll cartwheel those arms. Make sure you lift up that back heel. That'll help those hips come forward as you draw all the way down. And then we'll walk those hands back to the front into that wide leg forward fold. Toed heel, your feet in, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Drawing down to Malasana or garland pose. So on this one, it may feel nice for you to sit on a block when you get your bottom back there. Again, I wish I could demonstrate for you, but I'm not quite there yet with my knee, so. But that's what I normally do when I go into garland. I like to sit on that block. It helps me open up a little bit more to have that connection. Okay, engaging those core muscles. Inhale, pressing through those heels. Let's try to come all the way up to a standing position. As we do that, you're going to walk those feet in and then open those arms. Wonderful. Okay, let's make our way back onto our mat. So let's lift up on the balls of the feet. Let's change, instead of Anjali Mudra, let's do the 1,000-petal lotus. So you kind of create a bowl shape, keeping your thumb and your pinky together and your other fingers open. And then see if you can stay balanced on the balls of your feet. Come all the way down into a squat position. Once you're in the squat, lift that chest up. Great. And then one hand on either side. Let's make our way onto our bottom. And bringing those legs up into boat pose. You're welcome to release those hands if you need to. If you feel any pulling in your low back, that doesn't feel comfortable, you can just hold on. Open through that chest, shoulders back and away. And go ahead and release those feet down one at a time. And we're going to make our way all the way down. So curling that tailbone under, coming down one vertebra at a time. We're going to do a reclined butterfly. So Supta Baddha Konasana. So start by opening up those knees and then putting the soles of your feet together. You're in charge of how close your heels are toward your bottom, so you can bring them in or move them away. Try to open up through those shoulder blades, widen through the collarbone, and just breathe. Now, when you're in this position, if you have really tight adductors, it might feel better for you if you have a little bit of support by putting your blocks under your thighs. So just if that feels better for you, put a couple pillows underneath there, or you can just let them fall open. I'm just going to hold this for a few more breaths. On your next inhalation, go ahead and draw those knees together. Walk your feet out so that they're about hip distance apart, and then walk them up so they're underneath the knees. Your hands are going to be by your side with your palms down. Inhale, let's lift those hips up into a bridge position. So again, if you need to refresh your feet and get them underneath your knees, the heels should be straight down from that knee joint. Now, when a lot of people pull up in a bridge, sometimes they have a tendency to tense up their jaw and their shoulders. So see if you can open up your jaw, smooth over your brow, open up to the collarbone, relax the shoulders. Pull those hips up a little bit higher, engaging those glutes. And if you want a little extra challenge, you can bring your arms up. You can even lift your toes up. There's less touching, kind of balancing with this bridge position. It's a good way to engage all those core muscles. And then lowering down, bring those arms down first and your toes if you had them lifted, and then see if you can bring down your spine one vertebra at a time as you peel down all the way through the sacrum. Opening up, walk those feet out to the outside edges of your mat. Draw your hands open to the sides. Let's do that windshield wiper side to side. Okay, the next time your knees are to your left side, draw your left foot up on the outside of that thigh. So knees are to the left, then the left foot goes on the outside of the thigh. Just breathe through that. Okay, keeping your ankle right where it's at, you're just going to shift your legs up, and then you're going to reach behind that thigh into the reclined pigeon. You can roll that ankle around, that's up on that free foot. Okay, release that foot down. Release the other leg. Make sure you walk those feet out to the width of your mat before you draw your knees to your right side. Once those knees are to the right side, you lift up your right foot and put it on the outside of the left leg. Right on the lower part of that thigh, the outer portion of that thigh. Just give yourself a few breaths here. So after we go through this same series on this side, I'm going to give you an option of a mild inversion, legs up the wall, or just legs up. Or you could try a shoulder stand, which we've done one time before, and I'll talk you through that as well. And then we'll do Shavasana. Okay, keeping that ankle where it's at, we're just going to rotate those legs up, reach behind the thigh, and you can roll that ankle around with that free foot a few times in each direction. Okay, go ahead and release down. So a couple options of a mild inversion. If you have a block or a blanket or a pillow or something that you can put underneath your sacrum, that's going to give you just a little bit of lift for that inversion. And you want it to be right under that sacrum. The sacrum is this triangle bone right at the end of your spine. So it's kind of between your butt cheeks, but it's definitely below. You don't want it pushing into your low back. It's just below that. A mild inversion would be both legs up. You can pull up one at a time with bent legs, hands by your side. You can extend both your legs straight up, and if you have trouble holding your legs up, you could do this where you're allowing your legs to fall against a wall. If you would like to try a shoulder stand, then you're going to get rid of that block if you have one. And you have to get a little bit of momentum here. You're going to kind of curl into a ball. And as you get that momentum of curling into the ball, you're going to drive the legs up. And as you do that, you're going to cup your hip bones with your thumb in the front and the fingertips behind. So, ready? And then the most important piece is to make sure that you keep your weight on your upper back, so it's not on your neck. So you have the weight distributed on the back of the arms and the upper back. You have your toes pointed up toward the ceiling. You want to try to create a pretty straight line with your body if you can. Keep breathing. And then whenever you're ready to come down, just bend those knees gently. Make sure you bring those hands down to support and slowly come down. Once you've done that, you can extend those legs and bring the arms above. Just kind of open the rib cage, open the fingers, open the toes. If there's any other positions or poses or stretches that you'd like to do before we move to Shavasana, please feel free to do that. Eventually making your way into your Shavasana. As you find your comfortable position, see if you can do a scan of your body all the way from the top of your head down to your toes. Just see if there's any muscles that you can allow to relax and release. If it helps, you can take a breath and kind of think about breathing into that spot or that space. And with your exhale, you allow it to release even deeper. And just bring your awareness into the points that are touching on your mat. Maybe you feel the connection of your heels against your mat, the back of your calves. Noticing the space behind maybe your kneecap, knees. You feel your sacrum or your tailbone kind of touching the back of the mat. Maybe there's space underneath your lower back. And as you breathe, you feel a connection in your upper back, your shoulder blades, backs of your arms, your elbows. The space behind your neck. back of your head, connecting with the mat. See if in your next breath you can soften your muscles a little bit more, allowing your body to be supported by the floor. And then your next inhalation is going to be a little bit deeper, and drawing in some more vigor and energy into our body. And in any way that suits you, you can make your way up to your seated position. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart. Namaste.